Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Find a Way podcast with Dusty. Hopefully, you're doing well. I think we're upwards of episode 286, 287. I don't think that accounts for some of the Rocky and Dusty Chronicles that we did early on. But here we are. We should have like a special episode for episode 300 on the Dusty Lost 300 Pounds podcast. I wonder if I named it Dusty Lost 300 Pounds Podcast, that more people would kind of see the message of the channel versus Find a Way with Dusty. Anybody could say that. And Find a Way with Jacob. Find a Way with Suzanne. You can find a way with anybody. Which is true. You don't need... Dusty's not the only one finding a way. We are all finding our way. Well, I shared this past week a yo-yo. It was HCG drops that I put underneath the tongue, and it was 500 calories. I don't know why at the time, and this is where the knowledge is power piece is so important with the journey, where I didn't realize that, hey, I'm going to lose weight no matter what because I'm having 500 calories a day. I lost 40 pounds in 30 days. Wild. 40 pounds, 30 days. And I thought these mysterious HCG drops, which I don't know what was in those. I mean, just imagine the damage that I've done to my body because of wild and crazy attempts to try to lose a large amount of weight in a small amount of time. I don't know what was in those. They said HCG drops. If I'm really honest, I don't know completely what is HCG. I know it's found in something, but I don't know the science behind it. But there was promises, and I leapt at the opportunity of a promise saying, hey, you're going to lose a large amount of weight in a small amount of time. It's crazy about that is that it was such a monumental, wow. I went from 361 to 321. I was 21 pounds away. That's how I reasoned it mentally. Man, 21 pounds away from the twos. And the twos were always the impossible. I think I spent all of my, trying to think back, and I may have been in the high twos, high school, but I think as long as I remember 20s, 30s, I was always above 300. That was always above, I was always above that 3 mark, and I had never seen the twos. And so I had, in my mind, man, 21 pounds away. What's so crazy is that mentally, I was like, man, I'm just 21 pounds away. Yet, after I lost that 40 pounds, it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't long term. I fell off of that, and I gained 40 pounds back, so 361. And I remember that was when I hit the 4s, because I gained 40 on top of that. So I hit the 400s because I lost 40 pounds in 30 days. I really have to say it like that, because that is such a connection that a lot of us, hopefully we can, hey, if I lose a large amount of weight in a small amount of time, the likelihood of me gaining it back and gaining double it is very, very high. And it happened to me again and again. How did I get to 534 pounds? It's because every single time that I did something crash diety, I gained the weight back, and then I gained double, or I gained what I lost, and then I added a little bit more. And I've done a few episodes about how the body kind of works to protect itself and adding itself on. But there was one thing that I got was gout. I remember so vividly getting gout after that episode and or after that diet. And I was such on a restrictive diet that because it was so restrictive, I went on so many binges after of desperation that I need to eat because I haven't eaten in 40 days. And I remember I got gout. And gout, I mean, I'm screaming in the pillow in pain. And there's just not any immediate relief. I think I honestly did telehealth appointments once a week to try to get this certain medication that helps with it. But I was doing cherry juice extract. I was doing all these things. And it's if I were to look back and the moments I got gout, and said, hey, would you have done 40 pounds in 30 days? I probably would have said no, because of the pain and because of what I got because of it. It's like, if you were able to know ahead of time what would happen to you, what would be a result of you doing certain things, I mean, it would provide you insight on what you would do and would not do in the future. And, dang, that place is flooded. We just had a bunch of rain come in, and rivers are just at their, like, overflowing. It's, we have a bunch of flood staged areas. I'm just taking a gander here. It's quite high. I don't think it's once in a generation high, but it's close. But definitely a lot of water. So in hindsight, like, whatever journey that you're on, whatever you're doing now, what potentially could be the problematic thing that happens if you are not successful? We're not saying you're not going to be on what you're on. Like, I'm not saying, hey, whatever you're on, it's not going to work. What I'm saying is, if it doesn't work, play the other side for a second. Say, hey, if this doesn't work, what is this going to do to set me back? Or how is this going to set me back if this doesn't work? And be very truthful, be very open, and be very honest with yourself of, if this keto diet doesn't work, what's going to happen? If this carnivore, if this, any number of things, if these things don't work, this diet doesn't work, this exercise plan doesn't work, what's going to happen? So here's a good example. If you are on a exercise regimen and it doesn't work for you to be consistent, are you going to be motivated to say, hey, let's get back in the gym? No, you're probably going to take a good time away from the gym knowing that I've already tried that and it doesn't work. Say if you're starting off by going in the morning and it's not your flow, it just doesn't work from a scheduling perspective. It works better for you to go at night. So you start in the morning, you do it, you go, and then you're like, you know what, I am a morning person and I like working out in the morning, but it's just, I'm so tired, I just can't do it. And you're the kind of person that's like, no, there's no way I can work out after work. I've already had a long day of work. I can't. That's just not what I'm going to do. And you find out it doesn't work, you can't be consistent, you can't stick to it, and then all of a sudden now you're like, no, I'm not going in the morning, I don't feel like going at night. Well, when are you going to go? Now it turns into there's just not going at all. So that's where you've got to play the other side in asking the question, what if this doesn't work out? How can this set me back? And it's just positioning you mentally to prepare. If you were to ask, okay, well, I have a hard time waking up in the morning. I know that I'm not going to work out at night. What can I do? That's where you're starting to position yourself. Hey, before I start getting into this thing, I'm going to start 2 days a week, 3 days a week. Maybe I can reason and find the discipline, find a way mentality to say, you know what, 2 or 3 days. Instead of you now starting with 5 or 6 days a week, overwhelming yourself and not being consistent or something that you can do, it's now, okay, I can do 2 or 3 days a week. And I can start early and I can start building something. That's where I wouldn't have gone on HCG, even though it gave me the 40 pounds in 30 days. I wouldn't have done it because if I knew I would have gained the weight back and then some, and then on top of that I would get gout, I wouldn't have done it. I absolutely wouldn't have done it. And so it's like, what could you say to yourself if it doesn't work out to help position you now to be successful? That's it. That's all, my friends. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Hopefully this encourages you and helps you on your journey. Quick 9-10 minute episode. Again, just a quick announcement. My cookbook is now available via ebook, but also in a hardcover via Amazon. Any support or purchase of the ebook goes towards funding my second skin surgery. So just a shout out to those of you that have already got it. And if you haven't already, I appreciate the support. And of course, I am still with Legion and proudly with Legion. Code Dusty will get you 20% off your first order. So if you haven't tried Legion, why not? it's always good to at least try them once. They even have a supplement quiz to fill in all your information to give you a recommendation on what you should choose. Someone just asked me that. They won the giveaway. Well, what do I go with? Try the supplement quiz, let it go over kind of what your everyday and who you are and what makes up your day to day, and let's recommend something to you. And it could give you something that may be beneficial. And they have everything. Quick side note, if you plan to wake up early the next day, do not take Lunar, their sleep aid or sleep whatever. Whatever it is, I was very restful, and it made it very difficult 2 mornings ago to get up. I was about an hour and a half late to my normal workout. So that's why you didn't see me in the gym, in the garage, because it was a little too restful. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you on the next episode. Take care.